Dun, 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 dun. Welcome to the Healthy Conscience podcast, where a healthy conscience helps you be health conscious. My name is Lynn Lee. I am a registered dietitian and your host today.
My name is Vince, and I'm a registered co-host today.
Registered co-host voter.
I also am a registered voter.
Yes. I don't know what I just said. A boaster.
What else am I registered at?
You're a registered car owner. You're a registered California resident.
I'm a registered black belt.
Oh, my bad.
I'm a lethal weapon.
That was one of Vince's pickup lines when we first met. I was like,
it was?
Yeah.
How did I say that pickup line? I just
Well, it was just one of
because
your.
I don't remember it being a pickup line.
Mr. Innocent. Well, I'm a.
That's how I talk.
That
What's
is-
up, girl? You feel in danger? Because I'm a registered lethal weapon, son.
Yeah, that
I'm a
is.
black belt.
Yeah.
I know karate.
You don't know no karate.
Did you think I knew karate? Because my body is kicking.
That one's a good one. No, but yes. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm
So-
doing amazing.
You doing amazing. That's awesome. So, what are some new things you've learned during this quarantine?
New thing. Well, one recently more so is baking.
What are you baking?
Well, aren't both of us baking?
Just the bread.
Yeah. Well,
Actually, you're baking more than I am.
like I've always baked stuff, but then like it's more so because there's like a lot of really good YouTube videos out there, and I'm learning like more technique on like folding dough, and like just the process is kind of like intriguing.
Man, that process is kind of like intriguing, says the person who didn't do it.
That's why I learned, because I didn't do it.
So one of my coworkers gave me a sourdough starter, and then gave me pretty extensive like instructions on how to make a sourdough bread. It's not simple, but he literally laid out like his recipe. He's a trained chef and he's a baker, so he literally, it's a science to him. He gave me a recipe, told me all these steps, told me, okay, I can't explain this, so look up a video. I did all of that while Vince over here just blip, 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 blip.
It's because we were watching this video and it said if you have a mixer, a bread mixer, you could just stick it in there and it'll be the same thing.
And was your bread the same thing as mine?
It was trash. Hot trash.
You said it, not I. Anyways, he didn't even like follow a recipe. He literally took the starter, and the starter, it's supposed to act like the yeast. So you put a little bit of it into your dough. This guy took the starter and was like, I'm not wasting this, and just kept adding flour to it until it was thick enough.
I didn't want to waste it.
And then, yes, it was super dense and dry.
But that's how I learned how to make bread.
Okay, I'm sorry. But then my bread, on the other side, it was actually like pretty decent.
That is exactly what I mean.
Oh,
If you make bread how I did it,
don't do
it'll
it.
be hot trash. If you make it how you did it, it'll be amazing.
Yes. So
And
making.
the second time we did it, it was both amazing.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to do it again, but this week kind of.
Oh, it did happen because today I made pizza.
Oh, true that, dear.
And
oh,
this was
so good.
This was the best pizza dough I've ever made in my entire life. And it's because I followed a recipe, and not just the recipe, but followed the process.
The process. Usually you're usually the one who makes the pizza dough at home when I'm at work, so I don't really know.
I think it's because I'm such like an artist. Like I like to just, like when I'm cooking, I just like to wing things.
You know, you can, but baking, you can't. It literally is a science. The reason why there's X, Y, and Z is because this does this does this, and this at this time, it'll make it rise.
Well, for the in my experience, like most of the stuff I baked in the past is like what's it called? Like desserts, like cookies and stuff. You could kind of wing cookies. And I've like made enough cookies that I know, like, if I want to make it more chewy, I got to add this, or I wanted to make it more like flat and spread it out, I got to do this. But bread is like a whole nother.
Bread is like a science. And then get this. I brought my coworker, the one who gave me all of these steps, I gave him a slice of my bread. And he was like, yeah, it's good. And I was like, I don't trust you. And then he started talking, and then literally same feelings from the first time, just I was like, what the heck? It just went in over my head.
So he told you our bread is trash?
No, he said it's good, but to make it better, because ours was too sour. So what he said was that you can't just add the starter straight into the dough. What you're supposed to do is make a levain, and then the levain has to sit for several hours.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, that's how he pronounced it.
I was pronouncing it leaven.
Leaven? Or it's spelled like levain.
Oh, okay.
I would have pronounced it as a levain, but who knows? He pronounced it as a levain.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if that's accurate because I don't know.
That sounds like that's kind of a cool name.
It is.
Levain.
Levain. You got to make the levain. I'm like, what in the world? I got to make a child named Levain? What are you talking about? But then it was a whole nother process.
I feel like sourdough. Well, I can't speak for all bread or baking stuff because I haven't baked everything. But I feel like sourdough is a pretty like difficult thing. Like there's a lot of steps. There's a lot of details that all add up in the end product. And I feel like after doing that, it like made everything else that I bake better.
In general?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because it's like it
That why
made
your pizza dough was so amazing today?
Yeah, because it made me understand like, oh, why do you have to do these steps? Because it and then you could see the result in the end. Because the ones that I didn't do the steps, it was trash.
So like one of the things that I thought was really cool was the hydration period. And I think it's called like an autolyse. But then you put the water with the flour.
Yeah.
And you just let it, like you do a rough mix and then you let it sit for like an hour or 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then the gluten starts to form. So from that dough that was really rough and you kept picking it up and it kept breaking, it turns into this like kind of more like connected dough that when you grab it, it holds on to each other. So there's more of a connection, and then that gluten has formed, so then it won't release as easily.
It's kind of like also when we made bun bao. The dough was like super, super sticky. And we're like, oh, do we need to add more flour? I was like, nope, just let it sit.
But I added more flour.
But when it's all sticky and you let it sit, then it starts to like hold its form, and it's not as sticky anymore after you let it sit for time. So what making bread has taught me is you have to be patient with it.
You really do. You really have to be patient with it, and you can't rush the process, because if you rush the process, it doesn't turn out right.
Yeah. And I think that's what I used to do. I would like rush it. I'm like, oh, I don't need to do all these like risings like over and over and over. I'll just make it and then let it rise once. Maybe I'll just add all those times all into one rise.
Oh yeah.
And then in the end my bread was terrible.
It would just go poof.
Yeah.
Flatten out.
Remember the first bread I made?
Like months ago?
No, it was like years ago. The first time I ever attempted bread, like I did not like let it proof the last time. So when I baked it, it was just like hard dough.
I don't even remember. I blocked it out of my memory.
Yeah, it was that bad.
It's that bad.
Granted, it tasted like you could tell the flavor was good there, but it was bad.
I think the other thing though, back then we would use only whole wheat flour or only all-purpose flour. Now we're using bread flour.
Yeah, that was a game changer.
Game changer. Like, thanks for that, Tippities.
Because like most people don't have bread flour in general. Even at the store, like a lot of stores don't have bread flour. You gotta really like kind of hunt for it. But bread flour compared to like all-purpose flour, it gives bread such a good taste.
Texture.
Like it's chewy and all-purpose flour. You making bread with that? Nah.
Yes, it's so good.
Your bread probably tastes like my bread like a month ago.
Yeah, so I think that's what changed because your pizza dough, back then, there was like it was too crumbly and it was too like bread like.
Yeah.
And then when we finally got like bread flour, I noticed that I was like, oh, this is actually more like pizza texture.
Yeah.
So it was more of a give with the bites of the crust. And
I think it's because also, we're using whole wheat flour. And I don't know maybe it's even harder to find whole wheat bread flour.
So with whole wheat, because of the fiber, I don't know if this is the reason or if there's actually a thing, but then the whole wheat actually cuts the gluten and makes the gluten forming less available. And so that might be
the
why.
Little grains,
Mm-hmm.
the little shells,
The little
they're
shells.
like little knives cutting the glutens.
Pretty much.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you could use that's why no one ever uses completely whole wheat.
I think you could use completely whole wheat, but then I think it's a longer process.
Oh. Okay.
So it's probably more sitting and longer time to allow for the gluten to form.
Because like, even like with pizza dough, I don't think I've ever had like at a really good pizza place where it's completely whole wheat. Like sometimes they'll use like 50-50 and that's good. But when you do completely whole wheat, it kind of gives it more of a bready.
Yeah, it's like more like a cookie, crumbly texture.
Or like a cake. Like a
cake,
really dry cake taste.
What is that one thing? The biscottis?
Biscottis?
Yeah. No? Not like that?
Oh, no. Those are delicious.
But I'm saying the texture.
Oh. Well, you can't say something delicious.
Fine, forget it.
What's something nasty?
I don't know.
Oh, like that. Like
your bread?
Like yes. Oh, like you know that, some people might like this, but there's that cornbread that just tastes like dry cake.
I think a lot of people like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because like
you're just picky.
Some people make cornbread.
Hold on. Vince is super picky with cornbread. I just got to put that out there. But then this guy doesn't really like cake, so that's why.
I don't like. Well, I like good cake.
He doesn't like dry cake.
I don't like the cake that you get from like, I don't know, Safeway, and it's like been sitting out.
I like the cake from Safeway.
I like. There's certain cakes I like.
One with fruit inside.
Yes, I do like that one. But the typical cake, it's it's just cake.
True.
But sometimes people make this cornbread. I think it's actually a box package one, and it's just like it tastes like cake flavored or corn flavored cake.
I think there is actually like somebody brought it to my work once, and I think it's like they got it at like La Superior or something like that, and it was like a corn cake. It was literally cake, but it was corn.
Oh, that's different then.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, I have high standards of cornbread.
It really does, and it's like sometimes I'm like, I just want cornbread.
But do you want good cornbread or you want terrible cornbread?
I want good cornbread.
See?
Okay. I don't care.
Your standards are high too.
My standards are high because I only eat it once in a while.
Okay.
And I want it to be good.
And that once in a while, you don't want the cake corn.
Maybe I do.
Oh.
I don't know. As long as it tastes good with my chili.
Okay.
That's all that matters.
See, that changes things because when you put it with the chili kind of like hydrates it a little bit.
Hydrates it.
When you have that super dry one and yeah. But yeah, our baking skills have been upped. Yeah.
Because I think right at the beginning, what were you baking? Like cookies?
I made cookies.
I don't remember. We baked a bunch of things at first.
Oh, I made panda and cheesecake.
Oh, yes. That was really good.
It's kind of cool because like recently I've seen a lot of people that usually like don't cook or are really bad cooks, like actually making good like looking stuff. And I'm like, wow.
It's pretty cool.
You're getting better. Like, that's nice to see.
Or I think at the beginning they were posting pictures of food, and it's like that's probably good, but like for one of the things that I have been practicing very hard with is plating. I have such a difficult time with plating food, but I think I've gotten a little bit better.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Okay, thank you.
I was agreeing. Yeah.
Because at first you were like, it's okay.
I didn't see that.
You were like, oh, yeah.
There's a couple people that are really good at plating, but their food looks terrible.
Why?
I don't like it. It doesn't. Like sometimes things look pretty, but they don't taste good. And sometimes when you look at
like fondant, back to cake.
Fondant.
Don't even worry about it. Forget it.
Know
We won't go down that alley.
Oh, fondant. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
What did I just say?
I was thinking fondue.
Okay.
But yeah, there's some people like that you could tell by their picture, like that looks really pretty, but flavorless.
Why is that? I'm curious.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. When something tastes good, you can smell it through the picture.
There's something I just remembered.
What?
We'll talk about that spring roll video.
That, I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was this like top chef. And when I say top chef, I'm putting quotations all around it.
All around it.
And he made this video making a spring roll.
It was a tutorial.
Yeah, and it was like a fancy spring roll. I don't know what, but it was like the whole time I was just busting up laughing because I thought it was like
I thought it was a joke.
I thought it was a joke video. It was that terrible. Like it was like a little kid was making this.
It was like
if it was a little kid in the end, I wouldn't have been that mad because I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute.
It's cute. So growing up Vietnamese, we made spring rolls all the time. And I think specifically in our region of Vietnam, we literally wrap everything in the spring roll. We wrap bánh xèo in spring rolls. We wrap egg rolls in spring rolls. We wrap fish. We wrap anything you can put inside of it. We wrap it in there. But that was just like something we did growing up. So I'm very passionate about spring rolls because it's one of my favorite food things.
Yeah.
But you don't need to soak your rice paper until it's like flopped.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I can't even. I'm out of words.
That was the part that I was like, wait, what? Why is he making this video? Like that's like the first time you made a spring roll and the water was too hot. And you're like, oh, well, maybe next time I'll do less hot water or maybe warm or maybe cold water.
My mind was blown.
But then this guy's making a video about it. And it's like, what is this? This is his first time doing this.
Maybe because it literally, he said, and now wrap it as tightly as possible. But because it was mush, it didn't want to wrap.
That was the
it
best
turned
part.
into it looked like a caterpillar.
I'm like, who put this guy up to this?
What is it? What is it? A cocoon. It looked like a cocoon that wasn't closed all the way.
I don't know.
But I'm not even going to talk about the things that went inside because
like
that was blasphemous.
Have you guys, I don't know if you guys seen Pinterest fails, but that was a Pinterest fail. It's like you got the picture of this is what it should look like. And this is what I made.
And granted, I do a lot of Pinterest fails. So I don't even know. That just shouldn't have been a tutorial.
That needs to be on Pinterest fails. Like that was hilarious.
I feel bad even talking about this because I think that video got taken down shortly after. So then that kind of confirmed that, oh my God, they were actually serious.
Yeah.
Vince and I were like, this can't be for real. Because we only saw the tutorial part of it and we didn't see the entirety. And somebody else sent us the entire video. And I was like, oh my goodness, this guy is serious because he sits there and eats it and like enjoys it.
Yeah.
But the only part that we saw, it was like taken out of context of just the tutorial. So we both thought it was a joke. Oh, it's a sick joke.
I don't know. So it's like one thing to like try to be creative, but like I don't know what that was.
I don't even have words because sometimes I wonder if what we cook is like blasphemy to other people. Like we make Korean food. We made kimchi not too long ago. Shout out to making kimchi. it was actually kind of fun.
Oh yeah, that was that was something that really surprised me because like like my whole life I thought like fermenting stuff was like would be a lot harder, and not that it's super easy, but like within a day the kimchi was ready and it tasted really good. Like I mean, not just kimchi, but even other pickled stuff. I always thought it was such a difficult process.
Because we also made skimono.
Skimono, yeah,
Is that what it's
skimono was
called?
even easier.
And this is like one of Vince's absolute favorite, like pickled Japanese.
It's just like
dishes.
pickled cabbage,
Pickled cabbage and
there's
other
like cucumbers
vegetables.
in there sometimes. But like that was the first thing we fermented,
And then
and that was like, what did it? I can't remember. It took like an hour or 3 hours.
I think it took like 3 or
3
4
hours.
hours. Yeah. But it was so good.
Yeah, and then like once I did that, I was like, oh, I guess kimchi couldn't be too much harder. And then we tried kimchi, and I mean, granted, there's a lot more stuff or a whole lot more stuff that goes into it, but it actually turned out really good.
I think we used all of our. Now, don't be mad at me if I pronounce it wrong. Gochukaru.
Gochukaru.
That we used all of it for the kimchi. And then right after that, I was like, we need more of this because we were like cooking all sorts of random things. Like Vince was making sundubu and all that. But I can't help but wonder if that person who made that video was like genuinely just like how we are, curious and want to make food.
Well, I think it's one thing to like want to learn something. But this guy is like trying to pass on knowledge about
This is true.
this dish that it looks like he's very amateur at.
Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. It would be like me trying, like, say we made this kimchi and it turned out really terrible. And now I'm like, hey guys.
If we didn't even use Napa cabbage and we use regular cabbage and the purple cabbage, that would
If
have.
we use lettuce.
This is true.
And I'm like, hey guys, check out my
Hey
kimchi.
guys, look at this kimchi tutorial.
Yeah. See, I think that's the other thing. Is like there's a level of expertise when you're trying to share something with people.
That's true. That's like if you went onto your own YouTube channel and started to teach popping. I'd be like, what the heck are you doing, Vince?
Exactly.
This is not your area of expertise. Don't do it.
Yeah.
You just learned it and you know how to do it and you know how to mix it in with breakdancing, but don't teach them popping.
Yeah.
Part of me did feel a little bit bad for laughing at this person, but at the same time, I'm like, you don't understand it well enough. Maybe you shouldn't do a tutorial. You don't have any roots in it. And the fact that you said literally roll it as tightly as possible, and it was the loosest thing ever. I do not make pretty spring rolls, by the way. My spring rolls are like lopsided. The middle has like a slit, and that's just because I add way too much things in there.
But it tastes good.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
That it tastes good.
Maybe his tasted good.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't really know if it tasted good, but it tasted good to him. So that's all that matters.
As long as he's smiling.
Anyways, during this quarantine, just find something that you can learn how to do instead of being fixated on something bad or fixated on like what's going outside, creating you stress, creating some negative thoughts or anything like that. Pick something that you want to learn how to make. Make a shelf like this. Vince made these shelves up here.
Or this table.
Or a table. I don't know. Pick up something random.
Maybe not the table because this is kind of difficult and
you need a lot of tools. Don't do the table. Scratch that.
But the
Don't do
shells
the
are
table.
easy.
Learn how to cook something. Find one specific dish and cook it over and over and over. Vince has started to pick up, what was it? Drunken noodles. Patsu.
Yeah.
And he has made that, I want to say, at least 3 weeks in a row.
Yep.
3-4 weeks in a row. And it has gotten really good. So find a dish that you like to eat when you're out all the time and just try to make it over and over and over.
It's kind of relaxing. Like it's kind of like
It's like a challenge.
it's like, to me, it's like meditation.
Cooking?
Yeah. Because you open up your phone, you see all this bad stuff happening. Just put your phone down, put on some music, start chopping it up. And then if it actually, you know what? I could take that back. Before all that, make sure you like watch a video and how to make it.
This is true too.
Because that does help a whole lot. Like reading it, like what I've found is reading instructions is one thing, but when you see somebody do it, it kind of like changed my perspective.
And look for a legitimate video. Like,
yes,
what did we make? Was it that dish or another dish? Another Thai dish. I can't remember which one. But then you're like, oh, should I follow this person's recipe or this person? This person's she's that Korean. I was like, why? And then this girl's Thai. I would follow the Thai girl's dish.
That's why it's difficult sometimes to find good recipes, because like, especially with like, when I say extremely ethnic, I mean like stuff that's not super common.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to find a good recipe sometimes. Like, what's in it? Like when I was trying to make Trinidad doubles, there's a lot of recipes out there, but then if the website says like all-star recipes by Jordan, I'm like, nah, Jordan.
These are for like really ethnic, very specific food items. But if it's like general items, I like All Star or All Recipes.
I just made that up. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Is that a real thing? All Star Recipes?
I think it's called All Recipes.
Oh, okay. But anyways, you got to really dig for some good recipes for like ethnic food, and you actually like find some, especially if you watch a video, you'll find some really good
tips and
stuff.
Tricks from other people. I think what we do is we'll like watch multiple people make it, and we'll pick and choose like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Oh, I think that ingredient is needed too.
That's a little blasphemous. Let's take that thing out.
I think one of the things I made recently, I'm trying to ferment tea leaves to make tea leaf salad. Yeah. And I think one of the recipes asked for cabbage to be fermented in there. And I was like, I don't have cabbage. I'm not going to do it. So I just took it out. It hasn't turned out yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think like that one, we might need the advice of a expert auntie.
Yeah, I don't know any Burmese aunties or grandmas.
We do know one, but he doesn't. I mean, a man. But he doesn't make it.
Dang it, because he gets it from Burma, right?
Yeah.
So if you know someone that knows how to make tea leaf salad or actually ferment the tea leaves, please find me on social media and let me know. Send me a message because I want to be able to ferment these tea leaves.